So I just heard that Scott Adams been diagnosed with cancer and he might not make it to summertime. That's United States summertime. So I thought I'll make a quick video for you, Scott, and people listening. I started listening to you when I was living in Tasmania, in Australia, Hobart, Tasmania, Australia, and I first saw you interviewed by Stefan Molyneux in roughly 2015 actually. I think just around the time that President Trump won the 2016 election. And I didn't know kind of who you were, but then obviously the Dilbert comic was mentioned in that interview, and then I remember that I used to read the Dilbert comic in the West Australian, which is a newspaper in Perth, Western Australia, on the other side of Australia to that of Tasmania. Western Australia is on the west of Australia, and Tasmania is down the bottom east of Australia. So that's when I first realised who you were. And in that interview, Stefan talked about your why you predicted Trump will get in, and you predicted it on his persuasion abilities predominantly, as well as his technical understanding of things, but really his persuasion abilities. Whereas Stefan Molyneux thought Trump would get in predominantly really on his philosophy of politics. And I also predicted myself that Trump would get in, but predominantly on his philosophy of politics and his work ethic, because he did so many presentations. Trump did. So when I saw that interview, I then it wasn't long before I started following you when you started the podcasts, and I think when you started to upload them to YouTube, I was like, I'm pretty sure I was like top 500 subscribers, right? So I was like one of the first, definitely top 1,000. I can kind of vaguely remember that it was within 1,000. I was like, within your 1,000th subscriber to YouTube. And so when I was living in Tasmania, I used to do cleaning, and I used to go on walks, and I used to work in the kitchen, and I would listen to you pretty much every day. I honestly think that I might for up to 2 years, I probably listened to you every day for up to 2 years. So I kind of got to know you in the public domain, really well, and so what am I grateful for when it comes to Scott Adams? Well, I'm grateful that Scott Adams was one of the famous people who highlighted the propaganda machine, and I was aware of that after following Ron Paul, back in 2012, and how he didn't get much airtime, and particularly when I was following Trump, and how the corporate media would unfairly represent him. They would misrepresent Trump all the time, and it was good to have someone kind of famous from America that could kind of see past the propaganda, and I was really grateful that I had someone that could see what I could see and articulate it a lot better than I could. And another reason I'm grateful for you, Scott, is you taught me about the world of persuasion. I read a few books on persuasion, and I think I learnt about persuasion from you. And that's a very important thing to know about, competency against persuasion. And to be another thing to be grateful for is to be skeptical of expertise. To acknowledge an expert's qualifications, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're scientific, or that they're kind of immune from persuasion, or that they're not trying to persuade me to do something that's actually not in my self-interest, but maybe more so in their self-interest, that kind of thing, And so, I'm probably one of your most favourite Australian listeners, Scott, and I just want you to know that your reach did reach me here in Australia, and I'm very grateful that you made your daily, and you keep on making your daily presentations as much as you physically can or want to. So it would have been great if I had have started my own podcast years ago. Maybe by this point we could have you could have retweeted me and I would have got more famous. But I've been doing other things. But it's something that I have on my mind, to start my own podcast at some point. And just want to let you know that I hear it's terminal. It's very sad, but I'm very grateful for your work and what you've done. So that's it from me. I'm now living in Perth, Western Australia again, and I actually did visit the United States. I went around there a few years back, and I even went to San Francisco, where I know that you're not far away from San Francisco. And when I went there, I thought, oh, Scott Adams lives just outside San Francisco. So good on you, Scott. You've done me a big favor. Thank you. And I hope you go to heaven. Good on you. Bye.